Hi, pile 3. So, for pile 3, healing self-love, let's see what we got here. You have an inner warrior inside of you that is dying to get out. You're somebody very wise, very strong, very respectful of others, very respectful of yourself, and you expect respect from others as well. I feel like you love yourself very much. And at the same time, if you're working on this, that's what's really going to be able to boost your self-love, is being respectful of others and yourself. How can you respect anyone else if you don't respect yourself first? And that's the whole thing too. That's why we're working on self-love, so that we aren't hurt people hurting other people, right? So we can get back to that state of love and light where we are helping to heal the world and heal ourselves. Healing ourselves is the first step to healing the world around us. You're a very regal person, somebody very much in the spotlight, I feel like, but you're somebody who's also an introvert. You're somebody who enjoys reading. You may even enjoy going to the library. There's also a lot of books that will help you with self-esteem and self-love as well. Notice books that are coming into your life, though, because even if you like are walking through the library and one just catches your eye on the shelf, it may help you to really look within you and see love for yourself. I actually read one just the other day about Thomas Edison, really, and creativity, and how important creativity is. That really was an amazing book. I took it back for my kids to read so that they could hear about that as well, because they're around some people right at the moment that don't really believe creativity is such a good thing. And creativity is an amazing thing. The world would never change if it wasn't for the creative minds who come up with new ways of doing things. Because any new way of doing anything is creative, which means any new that comes into this world is always started by some sort of creative mind. The artists of the world are the ones who usher in a new age. You're somebody very fertile, abundant. Somebody who has the ability to grow so beautifully. You are somebody who really takes care of yourself, I feel like, as well, normally. But I feel like you feel like your whole world has been smashed. And there's just this one little piece of it left. You, yourself. And it's really hard sometimes to continue going forward like that. It's really hard sometimes to see the beauty and love in yourself. But did you know that there is actually a practice, I believe it's in China, where they take old smashed plates, or smash plates, not old smash plates, but just smash plates that get broken, and they fill the cracks with gold and remake the plate in kind of a more beautiful light, really. I mean, what kind of person doesn't love a plate with gold cracks running through it, right? So, and it uses just the same after they fix it. Generally, it looks like a brand new plate that somebody purposefully made that way. And you know what? Sometimes those broken pieces come back together more beautiful than ever. You're somebody who volunteers a lot of your time. You may volunteer at a shelter. You may volunteer at a homeless shelter, an animal shelter, a women's and children's abuse shelter. You could also volunteer at thrift stores, or like churches or missionary things. Whatever you volunteer at, it's something that really helps others in a very strong way. And you're very leadership oriented. You may be a little bit cheeky at times too, and people may see you as somebody who is very flirty even when you're not trying to be flirty. You may have had to leave behind your old world, all the old people that you were around, because you might have changed and your beliefs and ideas might have severed off into two different directions. And so you may have had to walk away from a lot of things in your life, but know that new is coming. And I feel like a new life partner maybe even may be coming to you. In the movie The Fox and the Hound, which is where this comes from, Todd and his best friend, I can't remember his name right now, but the hound dog, they were best friends. And the hound dog was a hunting dog. He was being trained eventually to hunt foxes, raccoons, the like, whatever they were hunting, you know. And their relationship ended up having to be severed, especially since his best friend had to stay with his owner and his, almost like his dad, the other dog, you know, and he followed that path, and he didn't come with Todd down the new path, but the new path was kind of forced on Todd anyway, because the old lady went and released him back to the forest because she felt it was safer for him there, especially with the hunting dogs living next door, and she was getting too old to be dealing with the stress of having to interact with the neighbor in that way, and she was getting tired of it, but she was also wanting him to have a better life, one that wasn't constantly filled with that strife and chaos and hatred coming from the next door neighbor, which is funny because you know what? The wild has its own cons too for him, but every part of life has its own pros and its own cons. And you can find the good in any situation. You can find the bad in any situation. The good in his situation living with that old lady was that he had that old lady who loved him. He loved her. He loved his neighbors. He loved everything about that place. It was so sunny and beautiful, and he had so much fun playing. And I don't think he even noticed sometimes some of the bad things that were going on. You know, he was just enjoying life. When he got thrust into that new place, he was hating it until he found the light in it, because it not only had its bads, but it had its goods too. And sometimes when we come into a new situation, it's hard to see past the bads to see the goods, because they're bads that we are not used to. And sometimes we get so used to some bads that we don't notice them until they're gone. So, no one is perfect, but all are amazing. It's all in how we use our gifts. I might judge others too harshly at points because of self-judgment. Look within to heal without, or internal to external. So look inside to heal your external world. It's time to look at and acknowledge the shadow side. Unconditional love is knowing that we all have both, every one of us. In doing so, it doesn't control us anymore. We see our own triggers and what comes of them. We can also decide what directions or where we direct those gifts and what intentions they work towards. Every gift has a curse side. Manipulation can also be seen as charisma. One sounds awful, the other good. Then again, some evil people had a lot of charisma. I mean, look at Hitler. These days, it's just classified as manipulation instead in those cases. But when acknowledged and healed or forgiven, it can be used in amazing ways for really good things and amazing changes in the world. But only if you can decide to cast away the guilt over the not so good times, instead of trying to throw out the power, usually causing it to come out in some unseen way. So, and also, you know what? It's not in which wolf you feed, like the old Native American saying, which wolf you feed is the one that's stronger. I kind of have a different take on that. If you starve one wolf, he's going to jump out when you least expect it, and he's going to eat everything in sight. But if you feed both of them in a healthy way, then you can live your life in a more balanced, healthy way as well. And I'm not saying don't feel guilty about being an asshole today. No, what I'm saying is forgive yourself of the past ways that you may have used your gifts in ways that weren't so good, so that you can acknowledge those gifts, and so you can use those gifts in ways that are good, instead of trying to disbelieve them out of existence, you know, deny them out of existence. Because those qualities all make a great leader, but your intentions is what makes what you lead. And if you're leading from a broken place, then sometimes you're leading to broken things. We have the Six of Cups, the King of Wands, the Ten of Cups, and the Crone of Water. So you are somebody who is very, very, very emotionally wise. You are somebody who knows what is going on internally. You know what is going on in the world around you emotionally. You're somebody very forgiving, empathetic, understanding, but you are also emotionally mature and wise. You know what is a good risk and what is not a good risk. You have the power of discernment with your emotions. You are somebody who is very, very intelligent touch with your child side as well. Somebody who may do very well with children. Like I was saying before, you could volunteer at a Head Start place as well. I'm not sure if I said that one. Or like a early years with children type of place. You may even be somebody who works with children in an impoverished community where they don't get the school that they need. You're somebody who teaches others by example. You're somebody who is very fiery, passionate. You know what you want and you go after it. Although sometimes you may have a tendency to overwork yourself and need to connect to your younger self again, to your inner child, to that forgiving, loving, kind-hearted side of yourself, and that side of yourself that is more in connection with and in tune with the emotions of the world around you. You're somebody who has the ability to be a very high vibrational, positive, joyous person and spread love and light in this world. But a lot of that is obscured by darkness in this present moment. You are not seeing your gifts and your capabilities, your ability to lead and your ability to inspire, your ability to create change in this world is so immense, but it may be very overshadowed by your own self-doubts and by your own self-hate when you look in the mirror, by your hatred of the world around you when you look in the mirror, because you are so emotionally advanced that you know what is right and wrong. And sometimes it is so hard to accept where we have went wrong in the past when we were less emotionally mature than we are now. But the only way to lead others to this emotional maturity is coming from a place of you are one of them, not you are above them. You can't be above them and lead them to victory. You have to be one of them. You have to be willing to admit your own flaws, your own shortcomings, your own things that you are ashamed of from your past, and to not be ashamed of them any longer, because then others feel like they are accepted by you. They feel like they can trust you, they can come to you, they can work with you, they can learn from you, because you are not somebody looking down on them. Who wants to work with somebody looking down on them? It's kind of why a lot of people don't go to therapy, because they're sitting in this perfect little office with this perfect person in their perfect suit and everything in the perfect place. And how can you feel comfortable just being an ordinary, normal human being filled with all these problems, going into an office like that of somebody who seems to be so perfect? Even if this person did go through mass trauma throughout their life, which is what inspired them to be this guiding light for others, they are sitting on a pedestal that they have created themselves. So when somebody walks in that room, instantly their ability to trust this person and communicate to this person drops down a couple notches, because of the fact that they do not feel like they can connect to this person or relate to this person, because they're so high above them, instead of feeling like they are one of them too. So that's what I have for this pile. Learn to love yourself as you, and learn to love other people around you. And I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. I would absolutely love to hear what you thought of it in the comments below, how it resonated with you, what you're working on. And I hope you guys have a beautiful night or day, whatever it is, wherever you are when you're watching. Bye-bye, guys. Pile 4. Take heart. John 16:33. Riverside Rocks, from riversideemmett.org. So this was one of the rocks that I found one day outside the laundromat here, and it was on a particularly rough day. Take heart. Take it in stride. Know that not everything is going to be perfect in life. At sometimes there is going to be, at different junctures, there's going to be a lot of hard things that you're going to have to deal with. And you're being told to just take it in stride, and to really be able to understand that everything you're going through is for a purpose, is for a reason. To be able to go with the flow, to just enjoy life, to try to see what you can see that is good in what you're going through, the silver lining of everything you're going through. To really be able to just go with the flow, enjoy life, lay on your back and stare at the clouds for a little bit, come up with shapes in them, enjoy the moment and enjoy life, enjoy the natural world around you, get in touch with nature again. Go out to a forest, go to a river, a creek, a canal even, a park, somewhere where there is nature that you can get in contact with, and to ground yourself and to just be at peace. I feel like nature would bring you so much peace and so much calm I feel like there has been a lot of harsh lessons that you have had to go through, a lot of harsh truths that you have had to face about the people around you, about yourself. There has been a lot of harsh communication going on possibly as well. You may have put your heart on ice for a little bit, and you may have even hurt some people with that heart that was on ice. You're really starting to unlock this emotional balance within your heart, this stability, this stable emotional energy within yourself. It is time to give to you a little bit. Expecting all of your care to come from the outside of you is fairly codependent. Have you ever wondered why you end up in relationships that are codependent and toxic? Look in a mirror. You might be codependent yourself. Is it narcissism you see in your partners, or is it yourself? Doing so much to care for everyone else and expecting another to care for every single part of you. It can be seen as selfish or narcissistic, especially if your partner isn't one that you place on a priority list, but you expect them to do so for you. Although I feel most here give far too much to a partner, resulting in far too high of expectations in return. And also, when you give far too much to a partner, you're showing them that you're a doormat and you're telling them to wipe their feet on you. And people are going to do what they're allowed to do. You know, you're showing them what love is and what it means to you and what you expect in a relationship. So they're giving it to you. You can't really be mad at somebody for that. And seeing those things inside yourself can be very painful sometimes. And admitting that you were the one who allowed this to continue as long as it did and didn't tell them what was required of them, which also gave them false expectations from a relationship. You know, those things can be seen as bad from the other side. If somebody was doing that to you, you would be very upset about it. But when you thought about it upon closer inspection, you might realize that hurt people, and you have done that in your life too at different points. If you loved you, you wouldn't be looking for external validation, and you would know what you expect from others, and so would they. Anything not up to par would fall away, and knowing that something better for you would come along. You would get rid of it. You would cut it out. You would let it go if you knew your worth and value and what you could really have. And vice versa. The other person that's with you that is going through that same toxic relationship, because it's toxic for them too, even if it's in different ways, wouldn't really be accepting what you guys are doing either if they knew what they were worth and were going after something real with somebody that actually loves them the way that you guys should be loving each other unconditionally, instead of dreading that it will never come because you are not lovable. So it's time to love yourself as you are. Yeah, sure, work on the things that you don't love about yourself a lot, but or you don't accept about yourself, I guess. Work on the things you don't accept about yourself and love yourself fully for who you are, how you are right now. Not tomorrow, I'm going to love myself when I get skinnier. I'm going to love myself when I all of a sudden create a business. I'm going to love myself when I have everything I desire physically. No. When I have a partner. No. Love yourself right now, today. Today, as you are in this very moment, the crying mess huddled on your floor in your room, in the dark, alone. That person deserves love too. That person is not a weak person. That person is not somebody who is emotionally manipulative, so they have to hide away their emotions out of fear of being an emotionally manipulative person because everybody thinks that about somebody who cries because they're sensitive. Love you for you. And show others that you expect them to love you for you too. But that means that you have to love them for them too. And you can't expect them to be any different than who they are either. It's a two-way street. And that's why it happens that way, is because when we aren't loving ourselves, we project that dislove for ourselves onto others. And they do the same to us. They aren't loving themselves, so they project their dislike for themselves onto us. Elemental of water, 3 of fire, Knave of Pentacles, and the Hermit. And I'm going to go ahead and look up the elemental of water really quick in here. The elemental of water. The elemental of water lets you know that there are plenty of emotions involved in a situation. Anything could happen, and any one of them could turn from positive to negative at any moment's notice. You will have to manage things carefully, but if you do, you will generate a lot of useful energy. So, you know what? Knowing that at any given moment things could go any way allows you to really know that, you know, you can't always know what's coming. Take that leap of faith and believe in a good outcome. But if it's not going to be a good outcome, be okay with it not being a good outcome. It's okay to get to know people and to understand that, hey, after we got to know each other, I'm not really feeling this connection in that way. And I'd like to get to know other people because, you know, that's okay. It's okay to release expectations and to just be able to go with the flow, to just be able to express your truth too. I feel like there's a lot of necessity here to be able to express yourself fully, to know that through expressing yourself truthfully and fully, you will receive in return. You are in need of time away from the world to reevaluate, to look within, to see your true self, to learn from it, grow from it, gain wisdom and knowledge from it, and then to be able to come back out. And taking that time away will allow you to be able to envision the future you want and manifest it. You also may need to take time to work on your skills, to grow your passions, to grow your knowledge, to grow your understanding of what you're wanting to work on as well. Right now you may be looking at a novice level of something, thinking that you're never going to get to where you want to be in it, but you will through persistence, through learning, through growth. This person over here is learning too, studying, gaining knowledge of the physical realm around you as well is really going to help to be able to heal yourself. I feel like there is really just a very strong need of needing to go within yourself to understand yourself better so that you can bring a truer message to the world around you instead of maybe a message that is distorted by pain or hurt and hardship. So that's what I have for this pile, and I really hope that you guys enjoyed this reading. I would absolutely love to hear how it resonated in the comments below or whether or not you enjoyed it, and I hope you guys have a beautiful night or day, whatever it is, wherever you are when you're watching. Bye-bye, guys.